Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jortson,
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm Nick Kinzel.
and we're here for another great episode of the Kinzels Classroom. Professor, take it away.
Saddle up, boys. Class is back in session. Welcome to another edition of the Kinzel's Classroom here on the Stock Car Spectacle. Well, boys, it's playoff time. The playoffs are finally here. We're just getting ready to start the round of 16 with tracks of Darlington, Richmond, and Bristol. All night races. Going to be really exciting. So instead of doing a traditional Kinzel's Classroom here, where we usually grade some drivers, since it's playoff time, we kind of introduced this last year towards the end of the playoffs where we're going to sit here and we're going to discuss the four drivers who we think are not going to advance out of the round of 16 into the round of 12. So what we're going to do this at the start of each new round. So we got the round of 16, the round of 12, and the round of 8, and so on and so forth. We will keep on doing this, and so yeah, let's so round of 16 here. Like I said, we got Darlington first, followed by Richmond and Bristol. So after that Bristol night race, let's get our first driver who is not advancing out of the round of 16. Ian, we'll start with you. First driver.
The first driver that I think will not make it to the round of 12, I gotta go with the number 3 of Austin Dillon. I mean, hasn't really showed speed this year. We saw him get the win at Texas, but he was out front. He had that clean air. I wouldn't say it was a luck win, but his team was smart with where they placed him. But I just don't really see that team making it into the round of 12.
Okay, Mike.
All right. I'm going to go with the 41 of Cole Custer for basically the exact same reasons. I think he's one of the lesser deserving cars in this playoff field to be there. I think the win more or less handed him the Rookie of the Year, which I don't think he really was. I think the win gave it to him by default. I thought Tyler Reddick was largely better than him for most of the season.
Oh, yeah.
I think, like you said about his win, I think Cole Custer got put into a weird position in a win where I'm not going to call it a lucky win. I'll call it very fortuitous to be in the situation he was to get the win. So I don't see him advancing, especially with this first round. You've got some tough tracks. Guys have to go drive. Like Darlington and Richmond in here alone are going to be very, very tough. And then you get put in a position where you're on the outside looking in on Bristol. Good luck.
Oh yeah, that's Cole Custer is also my first driver out. I like the kid, but like Mike said, let's be honest, the only reason Custer is in the playoffs is because of that win at Kentucky. He just did not have a very good points here other than that. And then on top of that, his finishes at the tracks in this first round are not great at all. We look back to the two Darlington races this year. He was 22nd in the first one, 31st in the second Darlington race, which was run under the lights, which is the conditions we're going to see on Sunday night. He didn't get to race Richmond this year, so who knows what's going to happen there. He did get a cup start at Richmond in the 51 car, qualified well, did not finish great. And then Bristol this year finished 35th. Yeah, sorry, Custer, man. I like you, bud, but better luck next year. So
there you go.
Second driver who will not advance to the round of 12, Mike.
I'm going to go with the 88 of Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman started off the 2020 season on fire, looked like one of the best cars on the racetrack for the first handful of weeks. And then COVID happened and, our racing season disappeared. And then we came back and Alex Bowman's still kind of been disappeared ever since. Hasn't had anywhere near that type of season. Up until winning last weekend, him and the 24 have wholly struggled on the season at points. Part of it's just a hunch. I think he's going to be your Eric Jones type from the last couple of seasons. It was like, wow, he's out in the first round. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him advance, but I also would not be surprised at all to see him on the outside.
There you go.
Ian?
All right, so for my second driver, I got to go with the 14 car of Clint Boyer. I mean, he just really hasn't been there at all this year. Yeah, I don't think he has the speed to make it into the round of 12. He's in a Stewart-Haas racing car, and we've seen him just kind of be, the slowest car of the team. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make it to the round of 12.
Yeah, I kind of have to disagree. I kind of have to disagree with you on that one. I think these are tracks where Clint Boyer can really excel in.
Mm-hmm.
Darlington, he won 2 stages here last time we were at Darlington. Richmond he's got 2 wins at Richmond, and Bristol he finished second. So that's the only reason Clint Boyer stayed off of my list right there. I still
Okay.
have to put him on, but I actually kept him off. I think the second driver out of the playoffs. This is going to make Ian mad a little bit. I'm going with the one car of Kurt Busch.
Oh,
2020 has just been an average season for Kurt Busch, and here's why I don't think he advances to the round of 12 is because I'm concerned for him at 2 tracks in the round of 16. Darlington's number 1, 15th here in that night race, which is the conditions we're going to be seeing on Sunday night, and 18th in last fall's Richmond race. I know we got a whole entirely different package coming to that short track right there, but I expect him to run well at Bristol. It's just the winning speed for the one car we know it hasn't been there. He's only got 5 top 5s on the year, but I just don't know if that one good run at Bristol, which I expect him to have, is going to be enough for him to advance. I think it's going to be a struggle for Kurt Busch, and I think he's going to be the guy who's going to be like, wow, Kurt Busch out in the first round.
all right.
It'll be tough. All right, third driver we do not think makes the round of 12, Ian.
I got to join you guys on Cole Custer not advancing into the round of 12. Like you guys said, uh, like he didn't get lucky with that Kentucky when he was just put in the right spot. But besides that race, we haven't really seen a whole lot of speed out of that 41 car. So, yeah, it'd be really hard for him to advance to the round of 12 with where he's been at this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, what you got?
All right. I got a big shocker for you guys here. I got the final car out going to be the number 4 of Kevin Harvick. No, I'm just kidding. I just want to see Ian's face.
He blows a 50-point lead. He doesn't even have to get off to the
Come on,
first round.
guys.
Yeah.
He could drive backwards for about 7 races, and he's already in the championship for. I just want to see Ian be like, what is he talking about? But I will say
we're gonna have to do a mandatory stock car spectacle drug test.
Well, I will just say this, though. I'm getting back to a serious note. I am going to say in his team, I'm going to go with the 10 car of Eric Almirola. Once again, a very wholly forgettable season. A guy, in my opinion, I know Greg Zipadelli was on a couple different outlets today talking about he thinks the whole SHR team will be back. If there's one guy in my eyes who I don't think will be back, it'd be Eric Almirola. I don't think he's had a good season once again in a top ride. He's another one of those guys. I just very much so seeing him be a guy that's like, he's out, really?
Yeah, that one would shock me. Because Eric Almirola he had that one stretch. He had that one stretch where he looked really hot. I will agree, though, he has kind of cooled it down a bit, but man, that would be a crazy one to see out that early. My third driver is the 24 car William Byron. Yeah, Byron just found victory lane for the first time in his Cup career, but I want to pump the brakes on that a little bit. He has still struggled much of this season, and he won at a restricted plate racetrack. Is that going to be enough to boost his team's confidence? I'm just not too sure because we just never know what we're going to get from William Byron. He's too inconsistent to me. He's had so much bad luck on this season. So for that, I just don't see him moving on. Yes, that win is going to give him maybe a little bit of a boost, but we're going back to some tough tracks for William Byron here. I just see it's going to be tough for him. I don't see him getting out of the round of 16, unfortunately.
Yeah, I kept him in solely for the fact that he had the win, which is going to boost him up. He's not the 16th car in, so he's not really already on the outside looking into the next round. He's
got a 5-point cushion.
Right. But at that, though, he's still not on the outside looking to make up ground early. So I think that gives him a little bit more of some breathing room. And like I said, I think there's some guys that have struggled this year mightily that I think you're going to see out earlier than him.
Right. All right, last driver who does not advance the round of 12, Mike.
My fourth driver is the number 3 of Austin Dillon. I left him off. Again, here's another guy I think wholly undeserving to have been in the playoffs to begin with. No disrespect to Austin Dillon in any way, shape, or form. RCR has been better this year. He did get the win, but like we talked about with the aerodynamics of that race there and him getting the clean air was virtually impossible to pass him, let alone catch him. I can't in any way, shape, or form envision him getting out of the round of 16, unfortunately. I think you look at the other 15 drivers that he's going to be battling with, I can't pick out 4 that are worse than him,
Right.
at least as far as performance on the racetrack so far this year.
I agree with you there. Ian, who you got?
All right. Well, this really, really pains me to say this, but yeah, I don't think Kurt Busch is going to be making it into the round of 12. It really does pain me, but he has not been there at all this year. I thought by now he'd be getting his 1 win a year, but no, it just looks like this is just a really bad season for him, and I honestly don't see him getting a single win this year. I think the Busch Bros are going to be winless this year, first time in who the hell knows how long when a Busch has not won the race. So yeah, it just pains me to say it, but I just got to look at reality.
Yeah, you just got to look at it like you got some Chip Ganassi racing. Like that's where we kind of got to put the team at fault a little bit. We know Kurt Busch is a phenomenal, talented, champion caliber race car driver. I just don't think that the equipment that he's in is going to be race. It really hasn't been. He's got the 1 win. He's one of those guys. That car he'll finish back marker top 10, but if he did get out of the round of 16, that's when top 5s are going to start mattering the most if you want to continue to advance. And that's just not really a top 5 team. So yeah, it's really disappointing to say. But yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly there on Kurt Busch.
Oh, just how much I want him to be back in that 41. It just pains me that he's not in there anymore.
I was like the perfect fit for him. But yeah, my 4th driver, I am with Mike here. I'm with both of you guys. All 3 of us said Austin Dillon. I do not see him advancing. 2020 has been a big boost in performance for Dillon and RCR, but I'm still just not confident that Dillon is going to have the speed to get it done in this round. I think the key to survival here is around top 10 to top 12 runs, and 83's only got 7 top 10s all year. And looking at his career statistics at these tracks in the first round, he got average finishes of 13.2 at Darlington, 18.7 at Richmond, and 17.4 at Bristol. So based off of that, I just don't see him moving on. I'm really happy with you boys that all 3 of us think that Matt Benedetto's getting out of the first round. Hell yeah.
We're going to Bristol. I really think Matty D is going to win that race. I mean, look how close he was last year. He's in a such faster car now. There is no doubt in my mind, unless he gets caught up in some kind of crap, that he is going to win this damn race.
I just want to say, for the record, that part might be a little different from our challenge bracket versus here. I can't take out Matt DiBenedetto on Nick's birthday show. There's just no way.
Okay, but yeah, so I think that about wraps it up here. So like I said, we're going to do this at the start of each new round. So we'll do this again for the start of the round of 12, and we're going to see who's not going to advance to the round of 8. But other than that, good session, boys. Class dismissed.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Stock Car Spectacle. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. You can follow us on all social media platforms. Me, Nick, and Mike. We're on Twitter and Instagram, along with the Stock Car Spectacle accounts. Make sure to follow our good buddy Patrick Cotto with the Cotto's Mojo. It's a great Chicagoland-based sports podcast. You can check them out on Spotify and all other podcast platforms. And last but not least, make sure to check out our friends at Ashland Heddens Racing. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Mike Gamble.
And I'm the Kinzel.